It's week 2 of the National Football League. And coming up, it's the Commanders' superstar running back. He was steady for them on the ground a week ago, reaching the century mark and adding a score. It's the Commanders and the Broncos, and it's all up next.
Well, we've had spotty showers since about... On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. Give him... Now it's Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down. Throwing is Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
But a good plays made on defense. Oftentimes, leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned. All the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. And the Commanders are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. I'm not sure that you can say that the rain caused that interception, but look, it's clear that throwing the football is going to be tough in these conditions.
No doubt about it, and different quarterbacks handle it different ways. Some guys think the rain isn't a big deal, but wind affects them a little bit more. But you have to wonder, will these conditions hold scoring down? Are we going to have like a 9-6 type of a game? And then the pressure goes on the punters, who often hold for field goal attempts. Can they handle the snap and get the ball down so they can kick it?
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
He was brought down at the 26. A gain of 5 brings up
2nd and 5. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. He'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part and got over the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. He'll try to forget what happened on the previous drive. He threw that interception. Sigh of relief, though. It didn't lead to anything, just the punt. Now they've got the football back here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson got his man. It's Dulcich. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Robinson, he'll try the left side. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. After the interception, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Commanders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times. So
out comes Washington's offense to take over. They'll have good field position at midfield following the turnover as they start with a first down here. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Completion here to Claypool. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's the option play now to the left. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Pat Surtain up to make the play. A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end fan. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Robinson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal. At the Broncos' 3-yard line.
Robinson again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line.
Short of the goal line. A 2-yard pickup.
They'll try and run. This is Robinson. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
But when the ball snapped from the 3 down near the goal line, I think in days gone by, we thought many teams would run the football, but on 3rd down in today's game, I expect them to throw it. A little counterintuitive there. They tried to run it, instead spilled for a loss.
So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And this one is right through. And the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way to field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays. Make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a toss left side. It's Williams. He'll get this to about the 38. The numbers for Williams a week ago, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. From the 38, Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. From the 36, Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So here is Washington now to take over. Last week, good result. They were able to beat the Detroit Lions, and now they are on the good side of the scoreboard right now as well. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Randy Gregory. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And checking in on what's going on up in the Meadowlands. And make it a 2-touchdown advantage now for the Giants. Saquon Barkley on his way to what could be a Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now. Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's caught. And he's brought down. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing. And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance. And he did. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in? Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. From the 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Denver's offense now set to go. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it? It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson will get this out wide to Singletary. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, Wilson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Pulled in at the 24. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out. And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now. 2nd and 3. Quick slant, Dotson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Robinson will try to pick it up. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to Robinson now on first down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Robinson with another carry. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here in the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Robinson trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Robinson up the middle. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. They'll try to run with Robinson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Wilson. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. No Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Fielded at the 43. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Set to go again. Here's Brian Robinson, the Commander offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And inside give to Jones. Oh, nice move. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
That's interference. Defense.
So the penalty declined, and they will keep the yardage on the completion.
And you could almost see him compartmentalize there throughout the route. Fought hard at the line of scrimmage, a lot of hand checking throughout the route. Great job staying focused on the football and pulling it in through the contact.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down. They'll try again. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr., his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders continue to pull away here in this first half. So he's had a nose for the end zone here in the early part of the season. 2 touchdowns for him now in this one to go along with the one he had in the opener as well.
Yeah, he certainly finds where the goal line is and finds a way to get across it. But you know who else senses it? The guys that block for him. Because he has that instinct, I think they hold the blocks just a little bit longer.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And coming out now, the Broncos. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 5 now. Wilson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is Presley Harvin now as he'll send this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, able to avoid him. Call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Eric Armstead able to get him for a loss of about 3. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Robinson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started out at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in the second quarter. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. From there, we head cross-country to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And that one is at halftime as they lead the visiting Patriots in that ball game. Saquon Barkley, over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last. We head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Broncos. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for Washington, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. Second half begins with a run by Robinson. And some room to roam now. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 88 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator. Wouldn't we clip out the box score? Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's got room. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Personal foul. Unnecessary running.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. He's going to try and take off with it. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Second and 6. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 16. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Showed some tough running, but couldn't free much space. Here's Wilson. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Taking on the midfield logo. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's brought down here just outside of the 20. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. 103 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw here. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he's brought down. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Robinson will score. Touchdown, Commanders.
Well, I'll tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run from Brian Robinson.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Now it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Chase Young
getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Throwing is Wilson. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the 1st. Gonzalez's kick is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Washington. The kick return touchdown goes for 97 yards. And the Commanders have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Singletary here running out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Here's Wilson to throw.
Finding Williams on the check down.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, they just can't get off the ground. And that play, they wound up losing yardage.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Here's Wilson.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Multiple rushers break through the drop-in for the 7th time this game.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well for the defensive
guy. What's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things. Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he claps down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the 2nd level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read.
Hand off now to Robinson.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll set up to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Adrian Phillips.
And the Commanders are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit, give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they? They're certainly hoping that that call now might get the fans back into this one.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
On the give, here's Robinson.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
120 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
He'll look to throw.
Quick slant, finding Claypool.
Touchdown!
Chase Claypool.
His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Commanders get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was finished off by the Chase Claypool touchdown catch. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson
finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch. Finding space at the 40.
And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Throwing again here, Wilson.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson.
He'll get this out wide to Singletary.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down.
Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. On 1st down, Wilson. And this is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chase Young able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Back to throw. Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And they will remain well behind.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. We paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result, this is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Robinson will try to pick it up. 141 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Again, it's Robinson. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Second down and a run by Robinson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So the Broncos coming out now. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Wilson. will be incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Robinson with another carry.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At about the 32. Now it's Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. The broken tackle couldn't create a ton of space. He'll be taken down just beyond the 35-yard line. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book out. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
On 3rd down, Wilson.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young.
My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field.
Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a 1st down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th.
Jones running on first down, but finding it pretty tough going as he'll get forward for only about 3 there before he's taken down. Robinson gets the toss on the right side. Room here to run. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Back to Robinson now on first down.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling, but inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Point after here coming up. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run from Brian Robinson. Takes it at the 7. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Broncos about set to go on offense. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working and keep it going.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
And that is incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Commanders,
they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall to 1-1. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.